Apparently, CR England doesn't know greatness when it walks through the front door. And that's the reason I'm sitting at home getting drunk right now, because CR England fired me during orientation. CR England wouldn't know greatness if it slapped them right in the face, which is exactly what I would have done to them if I wasn't such a merciful trucking god. So let's get into the story about how I got sent home from CR England. Because obviously they didn't realize how great I am. Let me tell you something about me, boy. I've been truck driving for 32 years and I got 17 million miles under my belt. 17 million miles. And some of you that can do math are saying, isn't that like 500,000 miles a year? And you're goddamn right it is. You're goddamn right it is. And after I put in those 17 million miles, I said, you know what is the perfect company for me? CR England. So I put in my application and that recruiter called me within 5 minutes. He wanted me so bad, he called immediately to say I've got to get this legend on the phone. And I have got to get him over here at CR England because he is definitely CR England material. So I said, all right, come on down to your orientation. See what CR England's got for me. So I did. They booked me a Greyhound, 2-day ride, and I showed up at that orientation over there at CR England. First morning, stood outside bullshitting with the other fellas that were there, smoking a little. Doing a little smoking, joking, all that stuff, right? But when it was time to head into that classroom, I reached down deep into my backpack and I strapped on my headset because it was trucking time, baby. It was time for me to establish who were the men amongst the boys there. So I walked in that classroom and I put my headset on. First one into that classroom. Not because anybody couldn't get around the door around my fat ass. You get what I meant to say. But because I was there ready to prove a point. And I was on a mission. And I walked down in there and I sat down in my chair. And I looked over at the door at all the other new recruits coming in. And you know what I saw in front of me? You know what I saw in front of me? Nothing but a bunch of steering wheel holders. And I knew that these idiots were not going to be able to understand a single word that was being said to them by the instructor. So I knew it was up to me. Every time that instructor said something, I knew it was my responsibility after all these years in a truck to make sure I stopped that class and I elaborated on those points. And I took that to be my personal mission. So we're going through orientation. You guys know how orientations are. They're so damn boring. You ain't going to tell me something I don't already know. But we're just there to go through the motions. Just there to go through the motions, right? And we start doing that, and this lady comes in and she says, introduce yourself. She introduced herself and how long she's been around the transportation industry, which did not impress me, by the way. These damn 20-year-olds think they can come in and tell us what to do. Think you can come in and tell us what to do, but that's fine. That's fine. So everybody's going around the room introducing themselves. Oh, I'm Scotty Piss Pants or whatever. I've been a truck driver for 3 months and I'm terrified of everything. I'm pretty sure that's what he said, old Scotty Piss Pants over there. And then they get to the next guy and he's I don't know, some other scared rookie knucklehead talking about how he's been truck driving for 6 months. So when they finally got to me, did I have something for them? I puffed my chest out and I sat up and I said, Looked up at that instructor and I told her, I said, it's pretty adorable. You've been around this industry for 6 months and you're already up there teaching a class. Hey, to each their own, I suppose. You know, if they think you're qualified, they think you're qualified. Who am I to judge? And old Scotty over here's got 3 months, and old Tommy over here's got 6 months. And old Bobby over here, he's got 9 months. Well, fellas, I've been out on these roads for 37 years. 37 years. And I've got 46 million miles under my belt. And I looked around at them just in awe of what I just said. Nobody could believe it. But you better believe it, baby. You better believe it, baby, because there is not a trucker in this planet that's better than me. Cheers to that. Cheers to that. So we start getting into the, you know, the boring shit of orientation. All the stupid shit you have to go through, right? This lady starts showing us safety videos where we saw some Swift videos and we all laughed because at least we're not Swift. We're CR England, baby. We're CR England. So we got to laugh at all those Swifties out there, all those Swifts out there wrecking their damn trucks. I never get tired of watching a Swift wreck. I never get tired of it. And that was fun. That was fun. I made sure I had some wisecracks through the whole thing. Yep, old Swift. You know how Swift does it. Every time. I mean, it gets me every time. Funniest joke on the planet. Those old Swift jokes. So, yeah, we did that. We did that. But here's where it started to go downhill. We got to the part about ELDs. ELDs. When are we going to get away from these things, these ELDs? I don't understand why the government's always got to be on my business, why they're always spying on me. It is not the government's business what I do on the interstate highway system. Matter of fact, they should fucking mind their business. Out there micromanaging me, telling me I got to go to sleep at a certain time. And then they tell me when I wake up, the government calls me and says, hey, it's time to wake up. Your 10-hour break is over. I ain't having that shit. And I made it known when I stopped that class and said, this is fascism. This is fascism. The government thinks they can monitor everything we do. Who are they? Who is the federal government to monitor what's going on the interstate highway system? Who exactly do they think they are? I pay taxes. God damn it, you're going to tell me what to do? I didn't like it, as you can tell. I didn't like the conversation about ELDs. But I told the class a little trick. I said that ELD just plugs into your little diagnostics port just right under your dash. So if you're ever running out of time, you just twist to the left and pull, and that ELD is no longer plugged in. Then old Uncle Sam ain't paying attention no more. He has no idea. It's like going stealth mode in a truck. And old Jennifer or Amber or whatever her fucking name was that runs the class said, we don't unplug ELDs around here. And I said, well, you didn't, but now you do. And she thought I was joking, and she made a joke about it, and she told the class, she said, okay, so we don't unplug ELDs around here. We don't do that. And then they started getting into this discussion about how you get around this country, how you get around this damn country. How do I get around this country? However the fuck I want, for one. That's how I do it. But these rookies, their nuts hadn't even dropped yet. And you know how I know? Because I asked one. Yeah, old Tommy sitting right next to me. I said, boy, let me see your nuts. And he said no, and that's how I know. Because if he's got nothing to hide, he would have just shown me his nuts, but he didn't. That means his nuts haven't dropped yet. That's science. Cheers to fucking science. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, they started talking about these candy ass, these fucking things these pussies use, GPS. GPS. I reached into my backpack. I pulled out my atlas. I slapped it down on the table. I said, which one of you boys can actually read this damn atlas? Because I can. Get you anywhere you want to go with this damn atlas. This is how I navigate. All right? This is how I navigate. And I got out my atlas. I said, come on. You can wait, Amber or Jennifer or whatever. You can wait. You guys ever looked at one of these? I've had this same atlas since 1977. It's 1977 atlas. Gets me where I need to go every time. Every time. So I showed them all the atlas for a little while till what's her name decided it was time for us to focus back on class. And I said, okay, if you don't want these guys to learn anything, that's fine too. It ain't up to me. I don't decide these things. I'm just another peon trucker, right? Safety guy comes in. These safety dorks always on and on about how you need to drive the speed limit and stay in your lane and all these things. No tailgating? No tailgating? How am I going to tell a family on vacation that they need to get the fuck out of my way if I can't do no goddamn tailgating? No tailgating, they say. And they start laying out all these rules. They don't understand the road. They don't understand the road. Not like I do. Not even a little bit. So he's in there talking all his nonsense about being safe in a truck. What's he talking about? What's he even talking about? And we get to this part where he's talking about driving over them damn daggum mountains. Oh boy. Back in my day, those mountains were a lot taller and they were a lot steeper too. Fucking millennials. They went and made the mountains smaller and easier to drive over because your bitch asses couldn't handle them. But back in my day, they were this high. Now they're this high. Because of you. Because of you. But that's okay. He starts talking about, when it starts snowing on them damn mountains, we prefer you go a different route. Or if you want to chain up, you can chain up. But you can stop if you want. And I'm old. I've already done my time, so I don't chain up. I park every time it snows. But you know what I think these rookies should do? I think they should chain up every fucking time, or I'm going to call them pussies. I mean, I park the truck, but that's not the point. So then this safety dork, he does a whole other segment on ELDs, to which I went, ELDs, government, man, ELDs. And so I stopped the class right then and there because this needed to be said. And I said, you guys might not know this, but back when I was young, not like you guys, because I was real tough when I was young, not like you, where you guys drink coffee. Well, I mean, I drink coffee too, but not the same flavored coffee you drink. But I'm real mad at you for liking something different from me. You know how it goes. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, we used to run 3 logbooks, 3 of them. Yeah, we just write in whatever we wanted on there, and we didn't go to sleep. We pulled into that truck stop long enough to do some cocaine out of a lot lizard's asshole, and then we got back to work, and no one got hurt. I mean, a lot of people got killed, but our trucks ripped through a family's sedan so quick that nobody even knew what happened to them, so it didn't hurt. All right? People got killed. That's the way of the road. But no one got hurt. No one got hurt in the process. So I started telling them about how we would run those 3 damn logbooks. And when you pulled into those chicken coops, and then that old Smokey would come out there and he'd be like, let me see your logbook. And you had to be on the game, on the ball at all times. And you had to hand him the correct logbook, because if you handed him the wrong one, he'd be like, what the hell? We're in Idaho right now. Why does this logbook show you in Florida? And you never wanted to explain that. So, if you put it that way, ELD sound a whole lot easier than faking logbooks, but that's not the point. The point is that these guys were rookies and steering wheel holders. That's the point. And I told them how we used to run nonstop, 24 hours a day. And I mean, they paid us 12 cents a mile, but if you ran a lot more miles, then it didn't quite even out, but we were real men. We were real men, and that's the fucking point I'm trying to make. We worked for less money, and we sacrificed our future self and our health. But what we did do was prove that we were fucking men, and no one would understand that these days. Nowadays, these damn millennials want to work for equal pay, and they want to, have a living wage for working. No, hell no. Back then, we ran 36 hours a day, and we did it for 12 cents a mile, and we were damn proud to do it. So, anyways, eventually this safety dork says, hey, that's enough of this discussion. That's a really cool story, and I really like old trucking stories too, because we should all know our roots, and we should all know where we came from. But this isn't really the time, because I only have a limited amount of time that I can be here. And I need to make sure you guys understand CR England's policies. And I said, okay, if that's what you want to do. So I got through that damn class. I did. I got through it. And I don't think they appreciated what I had to say. So we finally get through the boring classroom part that was obviously ran by a bunch of liberal millennials, which I don't like for no reason. But anyways, we got through that, and this is where the story really starts to go downhill. This is where it really starts to go downhill. They said, okay, it's time to do your road test. And I was a little bit nervous because I ain't told a good backing story in a while, so I wasn't sure if I was up to the task. And backing still makes me nervous. 37 years and 100,000 miles into it really makes me nervous still. But I was like, okay, I can do this. They said, before we do that, we're going to have you just pre-trip that truck and look around it. So we all started to walk outside, and that goofy 20-year-old safety guy that thinks he knows more than me about trucking, he grabs me and he says, hey, we got a truck over here. Actually, as a matter of fact, that's going to be your assigned truck. And it's already hooked up to a trailer. So why don't me and you go over here, and we're going to have a look at that. And so we walk over to the truck, and I jump up in that driver's seat, and I turn that key and turn that damn truck on. And he's standing outside still. I said, what the hell are you doing? Get in the passenger seat. Get in that shotgun seat. Son, let me show you how this is done. And he said, hold on. Come back out of the truck. We need to pre-trip that truck. And I said, boy, are you out of your mind? I've been driving for 87 years. You think I don't know how to pre-trip? And I grabbed a handful of my balls and I said, you can pre-trip these nuts, motherfucker. And he said, I don't think that's appropriate, but it sounds like he's a fucking snowflake to me. If he don't think that's appropriate, he ain't cut out for trucking, because that's what we do. We show our nuts to each other. So I said, pre-trip my nuts, and he said no. Well, then he ain't ready for the trucking industry, because I have pre-tripped a lot of nuts in my day. So he told me I had to do the pre-trip, or I wasn't going to be able to work for CR England. And I said, okay. So I turned on the flashers in the truck. And I walked around, I kicked the tires and made sure the lights were working. I said, this truck is ready to roll. And he said, okay, I trust you because you are the trucking god. I trust you that you know what you're talking about. And I said, hell yeah, I know what I'm talking about. And we got up in that truck. And I went to put it in gear. And that big old stick that I'm used to grabbing wasn't there. And I said, what in tarnation is going on here? And he said, that truck's an automatic. I said, you got to be fucking kidding me. I said, I got 10 pounds of swinging meat and 2 5-gallon buckets full of nuts, and you try to get me to drive an automatic? Who the fuck do you think you are? Boy, I can shift gears with the best of them, and you got me driving this candy-ass automatic? God damn it, boy. Fucking beer all over my desk now, slamming the shit all over. God damn beer everywhere. That's CR England's fault too. That beer that spilled, CR England's fault. Anyways, at that point, he made a phone call. He stepped out of the truck and he grabbed his cell phone like those millennials have. He put his cell phone up to his ear. Has he never heard of these? Has he never heard of these? He put his cell phone up to his ear. What a dipshit. And he walked around that truck and he was talking on the phone. And then he walked over to the driver door. He opened it up and he said, "Hey, I need you to step out of the truck." And I stepped down out of the truck. I got my fat ass out of there. This fucking beer's everywhere now. Damn. Don't worry. I got a towel, right? Oh, fuck. Now I knocked my vape over. Or my... I'm sorry. It's not a vape. This is actually a whole pack of Marlboro Reds. They're all in here. 20 cigarettes packed in the middle. And I take a hit off of them all at one time. Anyways, as I'm stepping down out of that truck, which took me a minute, I noticed two young ladies walking across that lot coming towards me. He said, "This is Cynthia from the HR department, and she needs to talk to you for a minute." So I followed Cynthia back into her office. Of course, these office clowns think they know shit about trucking, right? And I followed Cynthia back into that office. I said, "What's going on? So you ready to hire me?" She said, "No." She said, "You haven't even finished orientation. And you have sexually harassed one of our employees in our safety department." I said, "Sexually harassed? What are you talking about?" And she said, "You told him to pre-trip your nuts." And I said, "That ain't sexual harassment. What are you talking about?" Back in my day, we used to walk around trucking terminals before all the woke liberals took over. We used to walk around trucking terminals with no pants on, just hanging hog wherever the fuck we went. She said, "No, we don't do that anymore. It's all because they let women have jobs. That's why. If we would have kept them at home, none of this would have been happening. But now that these woke liberal feminists are running everything, I can't even keep a job." And they said, "Because you told that man to pre-trip your nuts, that qualifies as sexual harassment, and we cannot hire you." And I don't even understand, because I was a professional the whole time. I let them know what my experience was, and I aimed to prove what a great truck driver I was. And this whole industry has gone to shit because these woke-ass millennial liberals. I gotta go find a job. Bye.